Okay, we're live. Quit playing.
I was
So
that was that was intentional.
you did a good job. So do you want me to sing an Elvis song today, or would that get us booted off?
You might have just said his name and got us booted off. I don't
Boot
know.
us off. So last episode, we're on YouTube as well, and I got an email like late Sunday night saying, your episode's been removed because you used Elvis Presley." So we'll blame Nolan for that one.
That's
And,
terrible. That's
yeah,
terrible.
it's terrible.
I played 10 seconds and we had an hour long.
I know it. I know it. It's just so funny. It's I don't know how they get it though. I mean, that's crazy. Is somebody sitting there just watching and saying, "Hey, they're playing this or they're playing that," or somebody turn us in?
I don't know if somebody turned us in or if they have people that just. I mean, they'd have to listen to our whole 30-minute podcast.
Well, not necessarily because
That started off.
because
Yeah,
the Elvis song started us off. So
that's true.
you know,
Yeah, but there can't be people that just sit there and listen to podcasts all day, wait
I
for
know.
an AC/DC song to come up.
And maybe with technology today, it just runs through a scan thing and says, "Hey, this song's being played on this podcast or this channel, and they don't have the permission rights," which we do because I gave myself permission to use it. So,
Did you? Wow, yeah.
well, yeah, it's our
I get it.
podcast. I figured,
All right.
yeah,
We
so,
own the rights.
we own the rights to this podcast. And well, welcome to Notice Score. We haven't said who we are in a long time.
That's true. Yeah. Episode 111, I think, or 112.
We're at 112. 112. Kind of a good weekend in football. Did you watch a little bit of the Bears play or
I did.
no?
Yep. Watched the first quarter. They played the whole first half.
Did they? Okay.
So
Yeah, I was able to watch a little bit of the Vikings between errands and all that sort of stuff. So none of the starters really played for the Vikings
in
because
between jabs.
well, yeah, we could talk about that if you would like. I mean, I go right ahead. Go right
Chad
right ahead.
Bored on the weekends.
Becky was at a conference. Everybody else was working.
And he decides to try to piss Nolan off on a Saturday afternoon.
I think I did pretty well. Made me pimple of the week for you, didn't
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
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 So, no, we had some fun with each other, going back and forth on how Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback. I'll say that right now. But I'm going to give you crap every single day, and you say, well, don't worry, it's preseason. It's preseason. But when he has a good game in preseason, you let me know about it. So
When have I done that? They've had 3 games.
let me go through my
Do it.
text.
Do it. Because he really hasn't had a really good game.
Well, I think this last game was pretty good, according to all the things I saw on Twitter.
He was
He's
6-13.
legit.
I mean, come on,
Well,
6-13.
13. He didn't throw a pass behind his back like the world's greatest QB. I can do that too. I've done that many times playing out in the backyard with my kids.
I have a feeling it would probably go to a lineman, though. It wouldn't go right to Kelsey.
Well, I don't know. That's next time we're together, we'll give it a shot. You bring you get the football team together. You play tight end, and I'll throw you the ball and see what happens behind my back.
Okay.
Behind my back. And when the lineman starts going the other way, you can chase them because I'm just going to lay down and
I'm not going to chase him. Went and watched some state softball this weekend. Got to get back on the field.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Josh's team lost 1 game, so that sent them to the Rough Rider tournament, and they ended up winning it. So
they won the whole thing.
They won the Rough Rider tournament. Yeah, so they didn't.
Wow.
They weren't the state champs, but they were like the second tournament. After you lose one, you drop down to another tournament. So
Gotcha. Understand.
I think they won 4 games, lost 1, so pretty good.
Okay. Where was that played?
That was in Dickinson.
In Dickinson. Okay.
Yeah, they rotate those around.
Yeah.
Minot, Dickinson, Bismarck.
So you sent me a snap and you were saying something about taking after his old man, and then the Bluetooth from my car to when I'm in the house. So what did he do? I couldn't hear what he had said.
He threw a guy out from right center field.
Oh, did he really?
So
Nice.
The score was like 6-4. They hit a shot out to him, and 1 run scored, and he came up from right center field and threw the guy out. So it remained 6-5. They went in, and shut them down the next inning, and they won. I'm like, wow, that like saved the game.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I in my softball career, I had one of those. It was
Yeah.
just like a short pop fly, and I think the guy, like, I don't know why he took off. I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I threw it to the catcher, and I think it was there like 10 steps before the catcher was even.
Well, that's the cannon that you have.
Well, yeah, from shallow left center field.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, what are you doing running on this? Okay, that's good. That's good. So, well, that's good. Good for them. What they get? Anything? Like, do they get their money back for going?
No, they got a plaque.
They just get a plaque. Okay.
Yeah, that goes to the sponsor, whoever's their sponsor. Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
Yep.
So, well, all right. Good for them. Good for them. I had pretty mellow weekend here, which was kind of nice. I actually did work a little bit, which is quite strange, but nobody else was around here, so I just did a few things on the old computer, and that's about all we did. So that's about it. You hear about Mr. Dan Orlowski, and then like Sam Ponder and RG3 got fired from ESPN.
Orlowski did too.
Well, Orlowski didn't get fired, but this is why they're saying Sam Ponder and RG3 were let go, because they were in support of saving our daughters. You've heard that, right? Riley Gaines, yeah, all that sort of stuff. And they wouldn't delete their tweets.
But Dan did.
But Dan did. And so now everybody's kind of saying, shame on you, Dan. They're kind of wrecking him on Twitter. They already wreck him already. But he said, when you work for a company, your social media isn't yours. Well, if you put the little tagline in there, opinions on this are all mine, then it's different. I don't know. I again, we talked about this last time. Like, when is posting something on social media not the correct time? And I have views, and if I post it and my boss gets upset, what do you do? What would you do? Yeah. Like if you told your owner, KNDC radio sucks, what's he gonna do? Give you the boot or what? Or what's he gonna do?
And the thing, my Twitter account has my initial on it, and my handle name is KNDC Radio.
Yeah, so you kind of have to be. But
I'm not.
Yeah, this is true.
And I got into some fights last night that were.
Yeah, I know. I saw. You're like the first guy that pops up every day.
Some Packer guy starting to poke at me now.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
You just gotta, when you post, do you stop and think, okay, what's coming next?
Oh, sometimes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna come back.
Yeah.
And so then I'm gonna say this, and then sometimes it doesn't go that way, and you're like, oh no.
No, sometimes when you post it, it's just like, got him, boom, there you go. And he said something back. You're going, oh yeah, okay, yeah. I forgot about that. So then you got to dig up some other stuff. But the ones that are out there poking you, and it's just like,
you do well. You've got some pretty good comebacks. I will say yours are like factual, though. That's the thing. You're bringing facts. These guys are just bringing the like, Caleb Williams sucks, or whatever.
Well, I think it was the other day he posted about how mediocre that Caleb Williams was.
Right.
And they said something about, well, Mahomes and such are better. And all of a sudden, so I took snaps of the 2 preseason games for Stroud and Mahomes, sent it to him. And it's like, this is preseason. We're not going to, I don't know. Now you've got the Justin Fields, the Steeler fans all up in a tizzy because Justin Fields overthrew a wide receiver because he stopped running his route. Oh,
you don't see that. All you see is like, Dan Orlowski put this out there. Missed it, even though the guy jumped off a trampoline to catch it. It's like, no, he did not. The guy stopped running if you watch the whole freaking play.
But then the whole thing is, Pickens would have caught it. You don't know that. You have no idea if Pickens would have stopped running. But then there's another receiver that never heard of the guy.
Right.
He goes, I was taught after you get 5 yards past your guy, never to look back. It's like, well, you eventually got to look back because if they throw it early. But I don't know how.
Guys like you and I, all we got to do is just put our arms out and it just lands right in our hands.
Usually it's just, I catch them. It feels like pillows when you throw it to me,
I know what you're saying, brother.
Yeah.
I know what you're
I
saying.
think there's other guys that feel like their pillows dropping into their hands.
That's right.
So is Minnesota sold
Okay.
on Sam Darnold? Or is there a mask of?
Are you talking the team or are you talking like the fans?
I'm talking from Kevin O'Connell down. Forget the fans.
Yeah.
We're looking at the team going, there's so many people out there saying JJ McCarthy wasn't going to play this year anyway. And I'm calling BS on that because I have a feeling they were working him to play week 1. That was my thought.
Yeah. I don't know, Nolan. I think they are. They would have to be by not playing him in the preseason games to see how many snaps he gets, right?
Right. And that's what confuses me on Sam Darnold. It's like, okay, this isn't Aaron Rodgers. This isn't, Patrick Mahomes is playing, Josh Allen is playing, and
right.
Sam Darnold isn't. So it's like, why isn't Darnold getting those valuable reps? He has never thrown a ball in a game to Justin Jefferson.
But I'll go back to we used to talk about it last year, is like the preseason games are meaningless. But and I actually read up on this and you were right. Coaches and players think they get more out of those combined practices than they do the actual game, which you're not going 100% in those practices though, Nolan, are you?
No, are you going 100% in the ball games?
And when you're preseason, probably not, unless you're like on the bubble to make the team.
Bubble. Yeah.
Look at Lewis Kine or whatever his name is from the Viking. Guy had an interception, he had a sack, and he had he about knocked that guy out of his freaking cleats.
It was a legitimate hit.
Yeah. And they said that might have saved his time on the Vikings. And it was like, but it was against the third string.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. No.
The Buffalo Bill, I think the guy was from the Buffalo Bills, that lineman who chased down that running back down the sideline. Did you see that?
I haven't seen that.
So this is the lineman, number 94, big guy. Ball gets outside, and he races down the sidelines and catches this guy. The guy's like 300 pounds, catches him. It's like, now that saved his job. Yeah. You know what? He hustled the whole time. He caught a running back. I don't know if the running back's going to get cut for getting caught by a 300-pound lineman, but
was it again? Are we talking like third string team? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'm not a hunter. I just saw the preview on it, but
yeah.
But like in the preseason, you're not going to see Caleb Williams throwing a 70-yard strike to Dunze, and then to DJ Moore, and then to Keenan Allen, and then, if that's in your playbook, you're not going to show all this stuff because it's like, nope, you know what? I'm just getting used to the team, getting these other guys some reps. You're not going to throw up your home run balls.
Right. And that's why I think the preseason games now from when we were at that, 15, 16 years old, I think those mattered because you'd see the players playing quite a bit. But now it's like, does Justin Jefferson need to go out and play in the preseason, Nolan?
No. I don't think any of it for a fan.
Sure.
I wanted it like on Saturday. I wanted to see Caleb Williams and those guys out there.
Yeah.
So, and there's a reason why the NFL cut one NFL preseason game. There may be another reason why they may.
Well, you know why because of money.
Yeah.
That's.
But they're going to add another regular season game.
Yeah. Okay. But, so does Caleb Williams next year. Has a great year this year. Solid quarterback. Does he play in the preseason games next year? Do you want him to play next year?
Probably not.
No, because you don't want him to get hurt.
No.
Right. Because there is that chance of something freak happening or whatever it was.
But then why are teams doing it? Why is Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey playing, taking hits, Josh Allen taking hits? Why are those guys out there
because they win Super Bowls and they understand
what
needs to be done.
And I try to figure this out every year. It's like, okay, the Packers have played nobody.
Right.
Okay, but they're on their lines of, hey, we've never had to play Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to play Jordan Love. I think they need to play Jordan Love in a game situation against teams because he has struggled not only in practice, but he struggled in a preseason game. So do you just say, hey, you're going to be okay, we'll turn you loose on week 1?
Yeah. And so that's where I kind of like, I don't know, Nolan. I look at the Vikings offensive line this year, pretty much the same as it was last year with maybe,
Yep.
And does a quarterback need to have a couple live snaps with? Probably. I don't think it would hurt, but I don't know about KC's offensive line. Did they get a bunch of new linemen?
Yeah.
So I don't know those ins and outs of all those teams. I know the Vikings defense or the Vikings offensive line. I think it's either going to be Reiser or Ed Ingram are fighting for who's going to be starting right guard. And other than that, everything's kind of already set, you know? So,
and the linemen I'd be more scared about because those guys are 6 inches away from ankles. And feet,
even when like you go to a high school game, you can just hear those collisions, right? Yeah. I mean, and these guys in the NFL are like,
well, those guys trying to make teams. I mean,
5 inches taller and 300 pounds heavier than some of it. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. No, it's interesting to see. Like, if you could ask Jeepers, if you could ask O'Connell, like, hey, what's your philosophy going into spring or training camp? And I'm betting he's going to tell you, I want every player to come out healthy. Yeah. That would just be it. I don't know, but who knows? But Vikings defense looked pretty good on Saturday for all the scrubs that they played. Bears look pretty good. If Joe Burrow's in there, Nolan, for a half, is it a different game?
I don't know. I mean, Josh Allen was in there against the Bears, and they only scored 3 points.
Yeah.
I think the Bears' defense is going to be –
they're legit.
A major part of Caleb Williams' success.
Well, I agree with you because if you can hold them and then if they can run the ball and he can start – I agree with you. I think you've always said it, that defense wins championships. Well, I think you need but I think they help you more than most people think. So,
yeah, I did get a text last night from a pretty reliable source.
Okay,
mind you, and it says, with the Vikings finding themselves in need of a quarterback, they should reach out to Atlanta. Michael Penix Jr. has looked great, making their aging quarterback Kirk Cousins redundant. Cousins fits well in the Viking system. I photoshopped how he would look like on the team. So there's a picture of Kirk Cousins as a Viking.
Who sent you that?
My brother did.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
I mean,
it's funny. Your brother's funny.
It's funny, but can we dissect that a little bit?
Sure. You go ahead. I'm not. I could care less
Kirk
about
Cousins came out and said Penix is going to start. I need to go somewhere else, and the Vikings reach out and bring him back. Do you think that would be? I don't think it'd be a possibility, obviously, but as a Viking fan, would you jump back on board going, yeah, let's go, Kirk. Let's teach JJ McCarthy how to. McCarthy's not going to learn much from Sam Darnold and Jaron Hall and John Oates.
Yeah. We might as well just quit right now. It's not going to get any better than that.
No, it's not.
Oh, you son of a gun. You're pretty funny today. You're on. You must have got some good sleep over the weekend. Huh?
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Sure, I'd take him back. Would you? Would you take him if the Bears, if Caleb Williams got hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how I felt about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You had your 65% of the Viking fans hated him. For what reason? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, obviously he could throw for 400 yards because they were down 33-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And it was.
I read on Twitter then that was just create. That was a fixed game. We knew that was going to happen. It's like, come on.
Kirk Cousins came out and said, all we need is 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it? I mean,
sure.
Let's start off with the first one.
Yeah. You got to get one before 2. That's what right. I'm saying there. So, and then, so there's that. Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty funny. Kirk Cousins. JJ McCarthy is not going to learn from John Owens. Yes, son of a gun. Put it on there. Put a check mark next to your name as like you are good to go.
So, there you go. So
I know you wanted to talk about Mr. Gilmore, so let's go ahead and talk about him. Or we're not talking Happy Gilmore, but what do you got there now? Okay.
So under my name, I have. Okay, he's been in the league longer than 8 years, but I picked the year he was with Buffalo.
Okay.
And went to New England. So since his last year in Buffalo, it's been 8 years and 5 different teams.
Okay.
Good or bad. And you're paying him $10 million. Which is a drop in the bucket, but he's 33 years old.
Yeah.
Do the Vikings feel he's just a veteran leader to get him out on there? Or why is he switching teams every other year now?
Well, I think, and this is just a good player, past his prime, obviously past his prime, has that connection with Brian Flores, obviously. They were in New England together. And I don't know what it is about the Vikings, but they always get like one good year out of a guy that was always supposed to be washed up. Like the criminal Darren Sharper came to the Vikings and he was washed up. Huh?
Jared Allen got a couple years out of him.
Well, they got a lot out of him, but I mean, he wasn't washed up. But Darren Sharper came from the Packers, and
he was washed up when he went to Chicago.
Jared Allen, oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was done. So, we'll see. We'll see. You'll be surprised. I've got my Viking picks already. I think it's going to be a rough year for the Vikings, and I think it'll. I don't know. Why not sign him? What do they say? Low risk, high reward. 10 million isn't. 10 million's like $10 to you and I in the NFL, Nolan.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's I don't know.
Leadership. My guess is leadership. Understands the defense already. Doesn't have to do a whole lot of practicing. Bring them in, and they've had so many injuries. They had to do something. I mean, they had to do something. They traded away their number 2 pick from a couple of years ago, Booth Jr., for a ham sandwich in that guy. And so it's they need something. We'll see. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
I just think when you're a guy that just floats around, and I don't know, it's not good.
Okay.
There's a reason why he's not sticking with teams, obviously. Why wouldn't Dallas sign him again? Why wouldn't Indianapolis sign him again? Carolina? Why did New England let him go?
Money. He's the Kirk Cousins of defensive backs. He goes where the money's at.
Yeah.
Dallas can't sign anybody because they've got 3 people they need to frickin' extend that want everything in the world. So you can't
paying Dak Prescott how much?
Well, and he wants more now because he's a good regular season quarterback, but he can't get it done. Just like Kirk Cousins can't get it done in the playoffs.
So my other question is, it was on X this weekend about, would you take Jordan Love currently 4 years, $55 million a year, whatever it is, or would you take the rookie Caleb Williams 4 years for $39 million?
I'd push. I don't know.
I think now Jordan Love, if you rewind back to last season, his last 6 games were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But nobody remembers his first 10 games where he wasn't very good. He struggled. He had 6 good games down the stretch, didn't make the playoffs. And then you throw him $55 million a year.
Okay, so whose team are we putting him on?
Who's that?
Either one of them. So currently
Bears, Williams with Bears, or Jordan Love with the Packers. Yeah.
Well, if I was the Vikings and I had my choice of both of those, and I could get Williams cheaper, I would go with him.
Yeah.
But again, the Vikings are kind of wanting to run the ball, and I didn't know this, but like Aaron Jones had 5 straight 100-yard games to end the season last year, and he's like, this is gonna be my year. So that's why I text you that, like, hey, I mean, And I hate when players.
Chad, he's on my fantasy football team.
Well, that's why I sent it to you. That's why I sent you that.
I know.
And I am like, okay, that's good. And maybe, and if you can run the ball, then there goes my car. Who's taking my car? Someone just took my car. I hope it's one of my kids. Yeah, I just left. I just watched it go down the road.
Was anybody at home with you?
Well, Sammy was home, but I'm guessing he's probably gone now. Lily's home now too, but she doesn't have a license, so I'm guessing it's Sammy. Sammy had the gig last night, so he was out late.
Oh yeah,
sleeping. But where were we, anyways? What were we talking about? Football. Aaron Jones. If you can get the running game going, and I think that's what the Bears will probably want to do with Caleb, right?
Yep.
And then that gives him the time to, get that play action going, getting all that stuff going. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of funny because I was bored. I'm like, I'm going to go watch a Fran Tarkington-led football game, and you can find him on YouTube. And like first down, he'd come out and he would throw the frickin' ball. And either Ahmad Rashad or Sammy White would be open, and they'd get it down to like the 20, and then they'd turn and they'd hand it to Dave Osborne or Bill Brown. And it was just like boom, 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 field goal or touchdown. And then the defense would come out, and like Carl Eller, I think the guy was in the backfield every single play. I mean, it was just crazy and that team never won a Super Bowl. I don't get it, Nolan.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
it's the Minnesota curse, obviously, is what.
Woo! Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Feel sorry for the Viking fans.
Well, any Bear fan born after 1985, I feel sorry for them too, because they've had a couple shots to win it all, but
they have.
Yeah, but they.
The Vikings have too. I mean,
I know, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, we lost in the Super Bowl, which I think is worse than losing the NFC Championship.
That's what we've talked about before. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
When your team is in it, it's like coming over the Super Bowl party. No, I think I'm staying home.
I'm staying home. I don't want to really get all upset and throw shit at your TV.
Yeah,
stuff at your TV.
Well, and then 95% of the people that are out there are going to be cheering against you.
Right.
Which is going to be no fun if you're losing.
Yeah, no kidding.
But,
no kidding.
We'll see.
That's why I never watch like Packer Vikings games with like Packer fans, or I don't watch Bears. Well, I watch it with a buddy, but you and I just give each other. I know it's.
I think we'd be able to sit down and. Well, we went to a game live.
We went to the greatest game of all time. Yeah. I think. I know it's top 5 in the NFL network.
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. Where is the Pastronaut now? Where's he playing? Do you even know?
No.
Okay, that's good. So, all right. Well, if you tuned in on Friday.
No, San Francisco.
Oh, is he in San Fran?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had like a good game last night, I think.
Oh, did he really? Yeah. How about them Packers losing to the who are they? What do you call them? The Sean Payton Broncos.
But we're talking now how preseason doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
and then everybody's out there. Packers are in trouble. It's like
Bo Nix.
They didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
So Dobbs last night.
Yep.
Went 12 of 21 for 133 yards.
How many interceptions?
None.
How many touchdowns?
3 carries, 25 yards for 1 touchdown.
Okay.
It was 16-10.
He's a figure out quarterback is what he is. You play him once and the defenses figure him out right away and make him pass the ball to win the game. And he can't pass the ball.
Trey Lance had a good game in Dallas.
Yeah, they said he's really kind of moving up the. Would you still want him on your team? No.
Sorry, NDSU fans.
Yeah,
he's not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, not yet.
He's
still too young. He's still too young.
No, he's not. I've said that from day one. He's never given a chance. There's a reason why he's never been given a chance. Then they gave him a chance, and he went out and got hurt.
And most people would say because he sucks.
See, and I was never. I'm going to stop right there.
Okay.
I live in North Dakota, so I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want your house egged and all that stuff. So, saw something on X, and then we'll get into the Packer predictions for this year. Saw something on X about football player. He's a flag football player, wants to be on the Olympics, and he says, I don't think it's fair that pro football people think they're just going to step out and play flag football. I think the guy's name was Colin Kaepernick, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Kaepernick or was it?
No, it was a different guy, but Kaepernick,
okay.
I'm sure will play in it. But
yeah.
That is I would think that there is something in everybody's contract that will say you will not be playing in a competitive flag football tournament or
in the Olympics.
Gotta be in the Olympics.
So
I mean, there's gotta be something in there.
So then why did the basketball players get to? Because they want to win the gold medal?
No, because it's a little different.
Okay.
There's
yeah,
you know darn well in a flag football game with NFL players, there's going to be contact. There's going to be. So no, I wouldn't want Caleb Williams to run off to the right side and try to zigzag through guys trying to grab his flag. No.
Sounds like a college frat party, but anyway, there we go. So we got 4 years to talk about that. So I don't, as a pro football player, I don't think I'd want to, unless I really wanted a gold medal. I don't think I would
they do flag football in the All Pro weekend? Didn't they start that or not?
Yeah, I think so, but it's not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
all right, college football will start, and just remember, Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines are still national champions. Can't take it away from them.
You can't yet. They might. There's talk that they will. You can take it away, just like Reggie Bush getting his Heisman taken away. He was still the winner.
And what's the college doing? I mean, suspending him 4 years from college football, and Jim's over there going, "Okay, I'll accept that." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then he was going to be honorary captain for their first game, and then they said nope. But then Harbaugh came out and said, well, I'm too busy with my schedule anyways. But it was because of what had happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he basically admitted to cheating is what he did without saying that he did it. I wasn't aware of the rules of that time. It's like you cheated. It's okay. It's okay to say. You come out and say it, and you're going to get a better pass from me than if you'd say, I never bet on baseball. Okay, Petey. You got caught. Just say, yeah, I did it. It was a stupid mistake, and he'd be in the Hall of Fame today. Just saying. All right. So Friday, we did our Lions picks.
Yes.
I had the Lions going 8-9, and you had the Lions going 6-11, with possibly Dan Campbell getting fired. Or are you going to call that? Or I know you said he was losing the bus.
He was on the hot seat. I think I had him in the hot seat like week 8.
Week 8, but he's not getting fired. You think they're going to let him ride a little longer?
He could be gone depending on it. It won't happen in season, I don't think. But
so you think it's going to be a dumpster fire in Detroit this year?
I do.
Okay, very good, very good. So, well, let's talk about our Packers next. There in the old NFC North predictions, and week 1 they start out the gates pretty tough game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I got them losing that game to the Eagles.
I will agree with you right away. Hurts and them will come out. Eagles aren't going to have the best year, but they will start off pretty decent and
beating the Packers.
A win, because I think it is in Philadelphia, I think.
Yes, I believe it is. I believe you are correct. So then week 2, going up against those Indianapolis Colts, who we don't really know about right now. I know you got them beating the Lions, the Colts beating the Lions at some point. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
It's going to be a win for Green Bay.
That's what I got too. They're going to beat the Colts. Yeah. And then now they're heading off. That's in Lambeau. Now they got the Titans of Tennessee, and I've got the Packers winning that one, putting them at 2-1 for the season.
Yep.
You got that as well? Okay. Yep. Week 4, first division game against my beloved Minnesota Vikings, and unfortunately I have the Packers winning that one and going to 3-1.
Yes, I also have a little 3-game win streak for Green Bay.
3-game win streak. Okay.
Yep.
So then now we got the Rams coming to town, and they're riding high.
Packers are at the Rams.
At the Rams. That's right.
At the Rams. Yep.
Playing the Rams, and I got them losing to the Rams.
Yes.
3-2.
Yeah, I got 3-2 as well.
So every pick we've made so far has been the same.
It will be a loss in the Rams. Stafford will have a big game and
monster game. Okay.
Down goes Green Bay, 3-2.
Okay. So this one here, the next one against the Texans, I was kind of hemming and hawing about it, but I said that
Cardinals first.
Oh, Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals to go to 4-2.
They beat the Cardinals.
Okay. I just figured that's a win. Let's just move on with
that. Yeah, obviously.
So then we go to the Texans, and I think the Texans are going to be one of those legit teams this year. So I got them losing to the Texans, putting them at 4-3. And by you shaking your head, it looks like it's the same thing.
Yeah. And I also got them 4-4 against the Jaguars.
Oh man, I got them beating the Jags.
Oh, okay, I got them losing to the Jags. Okay. It's in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Get a little jet lag going down there. Trevor Lawrence is gonna heat things up a little bit.
Gotcha. So all right, so that's where we differ. Our first differ. I got them beating the Jags, being at 5-3, and you got them losing 4-4. So next week, if you remember from our previous Friday show, I have them beating the Lions, putting them at 6-3.
And I have Detroit losing.
Yes.
To Green Bay. So they are 5-4.
5-4. Very good.
And then the tough part of their schedule starts to hit.
I was looking at this. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow. And I'm not saying it because they're starting off with the Bears, but you're in division. I got the Bears winning that one.
As do I.
Because that one is in Chicago.
Yep. I got the Bears beating them there.
And then the 49ers come to town the next week, and they're kind of licking their wounds from that game.
Yep.
We'll lose to that one.
I got them losing to the 49ers as well. So after that 49ers game, I got them at 6-5, and I'm guessing you're at 5-6.
5-6. And then a tough Miami Dolphin offense comes in end of November. Starting to get a little chilly in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Tua's going to have his coat on most of the time on the sidelines. I don't think him and Hill are going to get on the same page in Lambeau. So I think Miami comes in and loses to Green Bay.
That's what I got. I got the Packers winning against the Dolphins as well.
All right.
And then they play the Lions again. And I got them beating the Lions, putting their record to 8-5.
I have that as well.
Okay.
7-6.
And then the Seahawks come to town, or I don't know if they come to town or they play the Seahawks.
Green Bay goes to Seattle.
And I got the Seahawks beating them there. And so that puts the Packers at 8-6 in my world.
I that night I'm going to tune in, and I think the first thing we're going to see is the replay from when the Packers lost in Seattle many years ago.
Gotcha.
Mary.
Yep.
That's still haunting Green Bay for some reason.
Okay.
They just can't pick up that win in Seattle. So they will go to 7-7.
7-7.
Yep.
Very good. I got them beating the Saints, putting them at 9-6.
Yep. Agreed.
And then the last two games, I got both losses to the Vikings and to the Bears, putting their season at 9-8.
All right. I have a win over New Orleans. I got a win over Minnesota and a loss to the Bears. So 9-8. I also have Green Bay.
So you got them sweeping the Vikings, huh?
I do. You know me. I'm a conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think Minnesota's heart is in this year. I really don't, with the injury to McCarthy, which shouldn't be. But I think, I don't know. I think they're going to struggle out of the gates. I think they're going to continue that struggle. And
okay. Well, we can get into more of that when we get to the Vikings.
I'm not saying they're going to have a 4-13 season like some people think they are, but
okay.
I think they're going to win some big games.
Yeah.
But I think they're just not going to win enough of them.
Okay. So does the 9-8 record get the Packers to the playoffs?
There's going to be a lot of 9-8 teams.
So do you
9-8, 8-9.
you think parody's coming back to the NFL?
A little bit.
I think it is too.
Because I think when in the Bears, when they went to the Super Bowl in 2006, there was like nobody in the NFC. I mean, it was Chicago and Saints were right here.
Yeah.
And they took care of them in the NFC Championship. It's just like, now it's like when you get in there, you've got San Fran, you'll have Dallas, you'll have Philadelphia, you'll have
a lot of
good teams. AFC teams as well. So
I was thinking this morning when I was waiting for Lily to get done soccer, I'm like, who's going to come out of the NFC? And then, I keep going back to the Niners. On paper right now, they're probably the best team. But McCaffrey, if he stays healthy, that team's impressive. If he gets hurt, then they can't run the ball. Yep. And then they got Ayuk, who's all upset about it. He hasn't been traded yet, has he? Wasn't he like rumored to go to the Steelers, and then that fell apart?
Yeah.
And he was going to go.
Minnesota was talking about bringing him in to work out as quarterback.
Yeah, but I don't know. So
I'm starting that rumor, but
yeah, okay, gotcha. So I would say it's probably between the Niners and I don't know. I hate the Eagles, but I just think they're so good. I don't know. That hurts. The Hurts is a winner, man. The guy is like,
yeah. I don't know if they. I think there's going to be I think Dallas is going to win that division. I think.
But do you think Dallas is? You don't have any thought that Dallas is going to make it to the Super Bowl, do you?
I'm not saying Super Bowl, but
okay. I'm just thinking of the two teams that could come out of that and really be good. And
right now they have Detroit as the second best odds to go to the Super Bowl.
I don't see that.
So the score is totally flipping on that. Philadelphia, and then Green Bay is your fourth team, and then Dallas, Atlanta, Rams, Chicago, Seattle.
All right. So Seattle, we kind of talked about already earlier. What do you think of Atlanta, Nolan? What do you think? I mean, is it Cousins gonna lead him to the promised land?
I wouldn't say that, but they're gonna win their division games. I mean, they'll take 2 from Carolina, they'll take 2 from New Orleans. Who's their other one in their division?
Tampa.
Yeah, probably split with them. Maybe if not, they might get swept by them.
Swept by Tampa, or
they could? Yeah, they might be. Tampa Bay's always got a good defense, and
they're just always so
they figure stuff out, and it's just like,
yeah, that's crazy.
They still got Mike Evans, man. That's
true too. That's true.
Mike Evans is on my fantasy football team this year.
So. Well, that's what we need then. When do you have your draft? When does Caleb Williams become a member of the Dakota Bears?
That will be 8 a.m. this Sunday morning.
All right. So I'll get a bottle of champagne. Yep. And it'll be 9 o'clock my time, and I'll pop that sucker right then and there and say, "Welcome to the team, Dakota Bears."
You got it.
You got somebody wanting to come in and talk to you?
Not sure. It looks like it, but
okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. Okay. So that means you got to go.
Just unless you want to talk for a quick 30 seconds, and I'll be back.
Well, we're already at 45 minutes, so let's go ahead and we'll call it out, and then we'll speak to you on Friday when we do the Viking preview. So sounds no good. Music. We don't want to get banned from YouTube. So
later.
Happy Monday, brother.